My experience as a parent was pretty interesting. I have two sons. So I did find that, as a parent, I certainly had to be an advocate. I constantly felt that I was challenging stereotypes or assumptions about what they were or what they should be. And I'm fortunate, I'm privileged as a teacher. I felt comfortable doing that. One of the things I think we want to work at is this partnership at what I'm going to call school level. So there's the systemic piece, you have your school councils and the system council and so on. But I think often at the school level, there isn't the partnership that there could be. And I would like to see parents being comfortable with any staff in the school. And I would like to see teachers being open and invitational to all parents. One of the things I learned as a teacher and administrator is that when parents come in and are angry with you, they are not angry with me, Maedith Radlein. They are frustrated. They're frustrated that their child is not being able to access maybe a resource. They are frustrated that their children's needs are not being met. So it's not about me, it's about their child. And that's where I think the focus needs to be. For teachers and for parents, it's about the kids. It's not about us. I'm really interested in how it is we decide where to put our money, how it is we decide how to shape programs, who it is that gets access to these programs. We know that, there are programs in Waterloo that may not be available in Cambridge. What determines what programs we think should be offered, where they should be offered? I'm concerned about resources. Our region has changed in the size of its population, the diversity of its population. And that, I think, is absolutely wonderful. However, I am not sure that our system delivery has changed. We have governments who, have been consistently taking money out of education while pretending that they haven't been. They throw some money at this or that and, give the impression that they are funding public education. The response of the board is often to cut. So we continue the delivery model, but the resources are fewer because we have less money. For me, that is not okay. We have to think differently. It has to be, this is our reality. This is the money we have. What do we need to do to ensure that our kids get what they need? The answer is not, in my view, just to cut and continue doing the same thing. Because we know, school A may get an A for 5 hours. Well, you know what? The kids are not going to wait till those 5 hours to need support. So we have to reimagine, think outside the box, look at how things can be done effectively. They have to be done differently. And there are many, many models in Canada, in North America, throughout the world that we can be looking at and drawing on. And there's no perfect world, and so there's no perfect answer. And so we try different things. And through this, we come to find what works the best for our students, because it's about improving student outcomes. It's about having students who want to come to school. It's about having kids who know that no matter where they are, whether they be in the gifted class, whether they be in the special ed class, whether they be in the ESL class, the regular class, every single one of them needs to know that they can learn and they can be successful. I know that if we have the right conditions for learning, if students feel safe, if students feel validated, if we take the time to teach to their experiences and their needs, they can learn. There are people who drop out of school at age 11 and end up with PhDs. So catching up is not an impossibility. It's done all the time. But it cannot be done if we don't address things like mental health, positive school environment, and really look at how we are delivering the content that we want kids to catch up on. So again, we want a student-focused solution. It should not be about politics. It should not be about the budget. It should be about students. And for us to achieve that, we have to look at our kids. We have to have some way of assessing that we have the information we need to make these decisions. Well, I know bullying is a real problem. As a teacher and as a principal, you know that the playground is one of the most challenging places for kids. For me, again, as when I was a teacher and administrator, we need to address things that are brought to our attention. And so, if a child comes in and they are upset because they have been called names, and it could be, their parents or anything, it's not okay to say, oh, they were just having fun. Oh, they were just joking. Oh, don't pay any attention to that. So I'm a firm believer, in things like class meetings, in things like circles, where students are given the opportunity to safely express how they feel and for them to reflect on what their words and their actions mean to others. Having students sit and learn to see each other as people who have feelings and who need to be considered is important. And what I always hear from parents is that they would like to be able to have conversations about things that are important to them. So, for example, schools have school councils, and very often, school staff may wonder why parents don't come out and so on. But I've also had parents say to me, I would come to school council if they were talking about something that would help my child learn, or that would help me learn how to help my child. I would like to, talk to the teacher about how I can help my child. So I think one of the things I would like to do in terms of connecting with parents is to meet with parents in as many different ways as I can, maybe at school, maybe at neighborhood events, maybe at community centers, to hear their concerns. Parents know their kids. They know how their kids learn, and kids know how they learn. Very often we forget to say to a child, what do you think would help you? Most of the time they can answer that question. I'd love to be able to be a kind of partner, or liaison, or connector between parents and their teachers, because teachers work hard. Teachers, go prepare. Some are in on weekends, or they have their late nights preparing, marking, trying to make learning accessible to students. And I have never met a student who didn't want to learn. So I think if we can find some way in our very busy days with all the demands that are made on us to take time for each other, because I think sometimes we have lost that. there have been many things that have happened over the past few years that has caused that to happen. I'd like to try to find a way to help us all reconnect, to take a deep breath and sit and say to each other, tell me what you think I should know. I think we really need to sit and have the conversation in terms of how we deliver services, what can change, what needs to change, and what kind of change. So we have many people involved in that. So there's a classroom level teacher, we have the consultants, we have our school-based team, we have our multidisciplinary team. We have lots of professional people dedicated to student learning with great minds. How can we better serve this parent? How can we help parents feel that their child is being supported in the way they need to be supported? Now, sometimes we may not be able to do that, but I do believe that we can do a better job than we have been doing. Well, I would say that our students are our future citizens. We need to care because the students we serve and the students we produce are the ones who are the citizens of Waterloo region, of Ontario, of Canada. And if we don't nurture our children, if we don't care about what kind of education they receive, what kind of experience they have, then we are going to create a group of citizens who, may not be interested in the community they live in, and may, go on to create a community that is not a positive environment. It may be a community where people don't work together. It may be a community that's very divisive. It may be a community that has problems in terms of crime or other kinds of behavior. Our children are everybody's business. Our children become adults. Children become parents. Children become grandparents. Children become our government leaders, our teachers. We have to care. Otherwise, we are saying that we give up. We give up on the future, and we can't do that. We need strong public education, high quality public education. We have to ask ourselves how we can maintain high outcomes at a time when funding is decreasing. You need to vote for a trustee who is going to focus on children and on their learning. You need to vote for me if you want safe schools where every child is respected. You want to vote for me if you want to see increased homeschool collaboration, and if you want to work with me on improving student outcomes and ensuring that every child that comes out of our public education system is going to be a child who is a citizen that contributes to the future of our community and of this country. Because public education is our future. I know that many people have no idea what school board trustees do. And in fact, they don't even know how you vote for a school board trustee. And I would encourage people to think about that, because it's really important who we put in these positions. This position is one in a school board. The school boards determine the programs for your child. The school boards, the trustees work with staff to create your child's educational experience. And it may not be your child, it may be your niece, your nephew, your grandchild, your friend. But the school board shapes our children. Yeah. And so take the time to think about what a trustee does, or to find out if you don't know, and to vote intentionally, not just, check off a name, but think about, do your research, find out what you're voting for, who you're voting for.